Gangster is the title of the first chapter, and it really does describe my mother and the way she lived in that town with the edginess of a gangster. She ran a little school, and she sort of put fear into a lot of people, not into her students, but into the town. And as a woman, somehow that edginess and that slightly crazy attitude she had was what put people in their place. Architecture plays a very important part in the novel. It plays a very important part in my life. My mother ran a little school which started in the rented premises of a local club. And when the school started doing well, she decided to buy a little piece of land, and she hired this extraordinary architect called Laurie Baker to start building this campus. And Laurie Baker was a revolutionary architect who practiced what was called no-cost architecture with local materials. And I, of course, was very young then, but later on I studied architecture myself. And architecture somehow is the foundation of everything that I do, including my writing. It really is one of the most important aspects or facets of me. So danger is something that I have been schooled in, I have been raised in, I have very keen instincts about. Maybe what other people consider danger is not the kind of danger that I'm talking about, but for me, starting with the idea of the family was a signal of danger, because it was never a place of safety for me. But now, living in the country that I live in, the kinds of danger, the range of different kinds of danger that you have to recognize and act in advance, to sort of try and protect yourself, means that your instincts for recognizing danger when it's still far away is really important. As a child, growing up in this slightly complicated way, I was liberated by literature. In a very small town I grew up, and literature expanded my horizons. But also writing saved me. Not writing books or writing diaries or anything like that, but writing in my imagination to extricate myself from my own childhood is something that actually saved me. This book that I've written, Mother Mary Comes to Me, it's a lot about writing. It's a lot about literature. It's a lot about the evolution of language and how to write and think and speak to yourself in a country where there are, 28 or something official languages and 3,000 unofficial languages. How do you create literature in a multilingual universe? So writing and literature are also not just something to be studied, but something to use to survive by. Collateral is also the name of one of the chapters in the book. And growing up with this extraordinary but extremely contradictory mother who was full of light and full of darkness, and you never knew which of those was coming at you. And so she started a school, and she was perhaps an inspiration to generations and generations of her students. But in many ways, my brother and I were the collateral damage of that revolution. And there was a lot of cruelty, there was a lot of very unmotherly behavior. My brother and I received it in very different ways. In the land of son worshippers, she treated her own son very cruelly. For me, I left home when I was 16 and moved away and re-met her as an adult woman, and I recognized that she's not just a mother, she's also a woman. She has also got a story. We don't have to justify each other's behavior, but it's important to recognize, I think, that mothers are more than just mothers. So the collateral refers to the fact that she had a project other than motherhood in her life, and in some ways her children were the collateral damage of that.